Ever wondered why your life feels like a constant battle between who you are and who the world wants you to be? Why you fight to prove yourself, but the system seems designed to keep you in a box? You feel like you are wearing a mask that doesn't suit you in any given endeavor, cause of it leading to a constant internal struggle between you and your dream life. And you feel you are not being yourself at every giving moment, making things difficult for you. That's not just your story. It's the story of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Two men, two identities, both fighting for reform. One, the tribal chief who redefined dominance. The other, the American nightmare who rebuilt himself from ashes. They also went through the same struggle in the business until the solution was required. Early career. Roman debuted in WWE's developmental system in 2010 as Lee. By 2012, he was introduced as part of The Shield with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. But when it split in 2014, WWE positioned Roman as the next face of the company. He had the look, the body, the main event, peel card. All eyes were on him, and when it was time to win, fan rejection. Despite his talent, fans booed him, seeing him as Vince McMahon's chosen one. His WrestleMania 31 main event against Brock Lesnar was hijacked by Seth Rollins' cash-in, and later matches against Triple H and Undertaker were met with hostility. Despite the company being on his side, the fans weren't on his side, and at the end of the day, and why was that? Cause of his old identity. It didn't align with he was as an individual, and wrestlers he didn't fit the superhero babyface gimmick the company was forcing him to be. In 2018, Roman revealed his leukemia had returned. He stepped away, then returned months later, earning respect and empathy for his resilience. But despite that, he was given the hate well later, despite the push he received. He in ring work, he had more main events than his Shield brothers, but Dean and Seth were more beloved, more desired by the fans. And why is that? Because of identity, and this is true in every area of life. If the identity you are carrying doesn't suit you, or align with you are, or doesn't serve you, doesn't matter how good and smart you are, it is always be an anchor, and Roman knew it, making him to partake in the one process that will change, not only him, but the business itself, identity reformal. In 2020, during the COVID pandemic, Roman took months away from the business, until he returned in the summer with his new form heel persona, the tribal chief persona, with him as aligning with Paul Heyman and declaring himself the tribal chief. This was his rebirth, his reform. He embraced his new identity, his original identity, leading to his demanded respect, redefined dominance, and built the Bloodline storyline into one of WWE's greatest sagas. Legacy. His 1,316-day reign as Universal Champion became historic, proving that reforming his identity saved his career and cemented his legacy as champion, embracing his identity. And he used the COVID-19 pandemic as an opportunity to reform, not only in ring, but in promo as well, making him having well-executed promo, well considering the audience weren't in the ring, and only premiere on the TV, giving him the opportunity to experiment with his character, giving him the moment, which is what made his role align with his characteristics and identity without the pressure of the audience. Roman's reform was about survival and dominance. He became the villain, but in doing so, he became authentic. He became what the fans wants and what they fans desired. He showed us that sometimes, to be respected, you must tear down the old identity and rebuild yourself as something undeniable. And in doing so, not only did he elevate himself, he elevated the business and that of his family as well. For if a man must change the world, he must change himself. And for he is his own world, and he wasn't the only one who embarked in such process. There is also another superstar who met the same concept. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, from Stardust to American Nightmare.
As I cannot physically put that title belt into my father's hands, I cannot bestow it upon the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, but I certainly can put it around the waist of the American Nightmare.
Early career. Cody debuted in WWE in 2007, teaming with Hardcore Holly, and later forming legacy with Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase Jr. Mid-card struggles. Despite talent, Cody was stuck in gimmicks, most infamously Stardust, a painted character that buried his potential. In 2016, Frustrated with creative, Cody requested his release. He bet on himself, work in the Indies, NJPW, and ROH. Cody. Also represent that same concept of identity reform, despite being the son of the American Nightmare. Dustin Rhodes, Cody has had his own breakthrough and moment with the audience, making it well known of how the business been treating him. He had potential, but his gimmick, his identity, weren't kicking in L.
His identity weren't kicking in, whether be it Dusty Sun, Randy Mente, Dashing Rhodes, and mostly Stardust. They were mostly weighing him down, rather elevating him. And when Stardust kicked in as its own gimmick, things went sideways. On its own aspect, due to the bad booking, he couldn't take it, not because it was killing his butt, because it was killing himself at everything giving aspect, and hereby forced himself to leave the company, to renovate himself, and fix himself. His own identity reform, but not in those around him, or his family identity, or those before him. He reinvented himself by going to different wrestling brand, like the Indies, Japan, wrestling, building a name for himself, and made himself the man he is today. That new identity wasn't inherited, and it was forged in the ring with blood and sweat of his own. His achievement became of his own, due legacies his own name, not that of his other own identity. His achievement became that of his own legacy, his own cause. Few moments later, he helped establishing new wrestling company, AEW Revolution. Cody co-founded All Elite Wrestling in 2019, that of WWE till this day, proving he could thrive outside WWE, same company he left. He carried the company on his back. His matches and promos built him into a top star, and when the time was right, he came back to WWE, not as the Cody Rhodes, but as the prodigal son, with his new gimmick, which was forged in cold grind of his own, the American Nightmare. In 2022, Cody returned at WrestleMania 38, unveiling the American Nightmare persona. And fans rooted for him. They gave him support. They saw the gimmick not as the American Nightmare alone, but something more, the underdog, the child of prophecy, the baby-face superhero gimmick, which gave him his own moral, his own mission. Finish the story. His father, Dusty Rhodes, never could, winning the WWE Championship. He wasn't picked by the company to dethrone.
Roman tyrannic reigns, but he was chosen by the fans and was given the opportunity of like no other would Cody's journey redemption. He left the system, rebuilt himself, and returned stronger, demanding recognition not as Dusty's son alone, but as his own man. Cody's reform was about hope. He embraced the nightmare, turned failure, rejection, and mistreatment into fuel, and came back to finish the story. He showed us that sometimes you must leave the system to truly change it. Leading one of iconic feud in the 20s decade, Cody versus Roman, to both rivals having family shoulder on their back. One was to live up to the legacy while the other was restore what was taken from his own family. Both superstars being anchored by the identity which is weighed down by the company. One was booed by the fans for the mask he wore. Other was booked unwell for the gimmick he played, forcing both stars go through the same process. One used an event as an opportunity to change himself, while other used his own mistreatment as an opportunity to left the company, to reforged himself and come back as the prodigal son, producing the best version of each superstars. The American Nightmares and the Tribal Chief producing some of the best storytelling we've seen in the business, and their clash. Their WrestleMania clashes symbolize more than a title fight, it's a battle of philosophies. Roman says, respect is demanded. Cody says, respect is earned. Roman protects his family's legacy. Cody fights to fulfill his father's dream. This mirrors real life, the established leader who controls the system versus the reformer who challenges it. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes remind us that identity is never fixed. It can be broken, rebuilt, and reformed. Roman became the tribal chief to survive. Cody became the American Nightmare to inspire. Their clash is our clash. The fight to be seen, respected, and remembered. So ask yourself, are you living the identity the system gave you, or are you brave enough to reform it? Because in the end, the crown doesn't just belong to the strongest, it belongs to the one who dares to change. For those who desire change and order to do, you must despise your old identity. For such reform, you have to be disgusted with your current situation. In order to change, only then can such a procedure be natural, just come from within. By doing so, you must become obsessed with change. Just like Roman couldn't stand the big dog gimmick anymore, Cody couldn't stand gimmicks being placed on him, whether it be Stardust or Dashing Rhodes. That's why he had to leave the company. This must be a form